Dear Jinali, good afternoon. Even though we could not connect online, I am recording the video, and the recorded video will be provided to you through some means. As I have another lecture session from 3:30 to 5 o'clock today evening in our university with the title Vichar Vimarsh on enhancing the creativity in the classroom by one of my colleagues that happened to be an expert in management studies, Mr. Vivek Nair. I'm supposed to attend the lecture. So I preponed our lecture session on spectroscopy, and somehow I will record the lecture and provide you the video version of the lecture. As you know, Jinali, Dr. Santosh sir always have pleasant surprises for me. It is his persistence that I got a beautiful research student like you. You are a beautiful mix of academia as well as industry. You are working in GSFC, Gujarat State Fertilizers Limited, as well as you are pursuing your PhD program in GSFC University, which is a very difficult task for which I need to congratulate you. PhD is not a bed of roses. PhD is a very, very difficult task. Means you are focusing on a particular subject, going deeper into it, trying to find the problem in that particular area and trying to solve the problem, trying to find out a way out from the darkness. The problem that you are addressing is how to minimize the chemical fertilizer waste. Yes, indeed, you know, the chemical fertilizers that we are using are having many unwanted effects because most of the fertilizers are not only used by the plant, but the excess fertilizers go as waste, contaminating the environment, especially the water bodies and the soil around us, and the ecological balance is getting disturbed. To address this problem, you are trying to find a solution to develop hydrogels for the controlled release of fertilizers. In our last lecture session, while we were discussing this problem, I have suggested that carbon dots could be of some application to you in your search for most potential hydrogels that could be used for the controlled release of controlled release of fertilizers. In my last conversation with you during last Saturday, I sent you one PowerPoint presentation on the applications of carbon dots for human benefit in medicine, in energy, and in sensors, and in many other vital areas. If you have seen that paper, that is the ACS paper, something related to central science or something like that, I will open the presentation and show to you. But what is missing in the whole of the review article is application of carbon dots to agriculture. That is what we should see. When you read a research paper, you should see what is missing in the paper. When you especially read a research article related to some materials, you should see what application the material has, for what purpose the material has been utilized. In addition to that, you should also see what could be other possible applications that have not been attempted so far. Likewise, the use of carbon dots for fertilizer applications is underutilized. Why? Because, we know carbon dots that are doped or functionalized with heteroatoms such as nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, and with extensive oxygen containing functional groups like OH, COOH, and many other exotic functional groups. Such carbon dots rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium that serve as essential micronutrients to the soil can be combined with potential fertilizers in the form of hydrogels so that the fertilizer utilization will be minimized. This is one of the strategies of effective utilization of fertilizers. Israel is successful in agriculture. Among all the Middle East nations, Israel is the only one nation that has turned the desert into a pasture. Yeah, it's like a bed of water. It's like an oasis amidst desert. It's a green patch in the desert. Why? Israel is known for innovation. Israel is dynamic. Israel utilizes each problem as an opportunity. That is how we need to go through innovation. That is how we need to find solutions to the problems that we are going through. Yeah, I might have talked to you, Jinali, regarding my conversation or my interaction with Professor M.S. Swaminathan. As there is no scientist who is greater than Professor M.S. Swaminathan in the field of agriculture. Time hai na sab 3:30, sir. You are earlier. Rescheduled to 3:30. Again rescheduled to 3. Yeah. Parents, sir, what is this, sir? Every now and then we change the time. 3 o'clock, sir. Just now I saw the online WhatsApp message, sir. The lecture is at 3:30. Again, it is preponed. Thank you, parents, sir. हमारे एक स्टूडेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ ना, ये कंप्लीट करके 1 मिनट में हम वहां पहुंच जाएंगे. Jinali, I'm supposed to leave. I will forward this video, and I will forward 2 other videos. One is related to Carl Fisher titrometer and titrometry, and another related to flame photometer. These are the 2 instruments that have been entrusted to me by my associate dean, Dr. Santosh sir, that happened to be your supervisor. Dr. Santosh sir trusts me so much and gives me, responsibilities, thinking that things will be better in my hand. That is why you are entrusted to me. That is why you are made to fall in my hand. There is some problem in both Carl Fisher titrometer as well as flame photometer. These are the problems I am going to give you. Essentially, as a research scholar, you are supposed to solve the problems. Every day you will be going through several problems. As a research scholar, you should be an expert in providing solutions to the problems. This is the sum and substance of today's presentation. You are expected to be an experienced scientist in providing solutions to the industries, especially because you are in fertilizer industry. Industries have great expectations from academicians like us. Recently, the GSFC University has signed a memorandum of understanding with Deepak Nitrites. Dr. Santosh mistook nitrites to be nitrates. It doesn't mean that you do not know the difference between nitrites and nitrates. Okay, sometimes teachers do mistake in spelling mistake or some way. It doesn't mean that students are superior to teachers. Teachers are teachers, students are students. Coming to the point, we are going to conduct a capsule course for Deepak nitriles to give them an understanding of how the future chemical industry will be. You can see around me, there is so many disturbing factors. There are so many satanic imprints. But even though the satanic imprints are there, I'm forwarding. How? This is because of the power through prayer. Prayer may power hai. There is a beautiful book by Edward McHenry Bounds, Satan, his power. Satan, Satan, his personality, power, and overthrow. You should read this book. Satan, his personality, power, and overthrow. We are to overthrow the Satan through prayer. Prayer gives strength. I will close this session with this advice. See you next week. Next week's lecture means the next working Saturday. The lecture will be scheduled in the morning session. Thank you.